Hello and welcome everybody. And I am starting off in a different place today. The question is, where am I starting off today? Let's have a quick there, and I've got to try to remember where I am. Oh yes. It's going to take a moment for everything to load up, isn't it? There you go. I am at home base for once. For once I'm at home base. I also just realised I need to boost that. So there you go. There's all the expeditions. I haven't finished. I need to sort the lighting out, and I'm going to have to make that board bigger because yeah, we're running out of room. So here we are. Welcome. It's not Friday, and I'm back in No Man's Sky with the special magic potion from Tuesday, also known as Dr. Pepper. Grab your drinks while you got them. So, oh yeah, definitely need the drink. So we will teleport over to... Thumbnail still has the original pyramid on it. Yeah, hasn't looked like that now since last year, I think it was. When did I start? Because I took a break for the festive streams, so yeah, it would have been last year when we moved in, laid down the first wire, and started deleting the old base, which was a very, very large pyramid, built many times ago, apparently, yes. Many years ago is the word I was looking for. Yes, years. Teleporting. Here we go. And this bottom section of the base is going to get redone. It's not going to stay like this. We have a seam issue. Interesting. There's a lighting glitch. These are solid rooms, and yet, yeah. Having said that, you can see time pass slowly. Yeah. What if anyone's actually thought of actually building a proper sundial in this game? It's one of the few games that would work because it is continual time passing, not time jumping. So it's like, oh, 5 minutes have passed, jump. You know. So, what have we been up to? Well, that's one of the questions. We'll get to what I've been doing up front in a bit. We did map out the other side over there, and I did bring the wall back to there, but apart from finishing the thing, we did some work on... Nope, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go into camera mode. Hello there, sir. How you doing? Working and lurking. Well, good to have you here. And the engine section. Here we go. I bet you're not enjoying this weather too much. It's really crappy. Got really crappy weather. So I've got some of the upside down. Some of the underside done. That piece of wood there is hiding something I'll get to in a minute, which we will finish off. I'll lift myself up so I can see what I'm doing. I did finally realise there was a good... I'm not put into darkness. So the engine, I kind of got the look I wanted. It's got that... It's not quite as red as you would expect, but I could probably throw a couple of lights in there to redden it up a bit. Obviously we've got this side to do, and then we've got the thing that took me, God, I spent 20 minutes trying to angle stuff. I mean, this side is squared on. That's it, it's squared on. This side isn't. It's angled. It's actually in alignment with that, and that's what made it easier to just like drop a piece, stick a piece there, flickety flick flop flop floop, move it over to there, and we got that. So those two back pieces need to be changed. I'll probably have to stick something in the back, invert them, do something. It doesn't look like much when you look at, if I can get a balanced view, can I get a... Oh, that probably gives you a better idea. So on the right hand side is the old format, the left hand side's the new format where it's tilted in a bit, and that gives us what we want, and it also makes it easy to get the top done, because I changed that. Technically this isn't meant to stick up. I thought I could get away with that, and then I realized it's wrong. So that piece there is going to have to come off. That was me flipping stuff around to get the side pieces. So yeah, it's got to be sealed off and leveled. So it'll come off that piece there, which then takes us to this. Because underneath, obviously the very back piece is going to be changed in line with what's happening up top. But then here, it just comes straight back. But when it meets this wall, because of course we've got the lip that we left in there, so that lip follows round, and rather than bringing anything, I mean, I could bring it down, but it's easier just to leave it in place for now, and use what I've done here basically to be able to drop a floor panel in where I needed to drop a floor panel in. And now that don't know why I pressed that button, that was a good one. But now that that's done, it means I can remove these pieces. So there you go. So we've got that piece that we've put in using the little frame we had. That's the piece that obviously directly links onto that. And then we just have to seal up the backs of the engines, which are there. And that's fairly straightforward. And we want a similar effect up on the top, up here. We don't want that bar there. So we are going to remove these. And of course these pieces we've got here are going to be removed for the thing. I just want to make sure I get all the... Yeah, that's on a slant. So you are coming out. These pieces here were because I had to redo these, but then I had to move these pieces here. So I've still got to stick a piece in there, but at the minute I need... Ooh, is that the one I can go through? Yes, that's the one I can go through to allow me in here to work, seal off the back of the engine, put another one of these in for the other side when I need to. So that's what that bit is, and it's easier to do that to get back out because I got stuck. Oh dear. So we will come back to that in a moment. What's been going on here? Right. And we'll go over to camera mode, put some light on the matter. So the original height was up there and it slopes down. But then I redid the slope. Now the sides, these are the parts where the sides are meant to go. Not perfect, but if I can get them a little bit better, I will. But then we need to build stuff up from there. And this bit here's got a fattish piece, which it goes there, then it comes out because you get like a flattish piece here, with another grill. And that's why I lowered that. So these here would actually not be where they are, and they're going to come down. The other thing is, I had a look. I was originally going to come through this door thinking that I was going to be standing, on the platform. But when I looked closely at the design, it turns out you're actually coming out here, higher up. So you're not actually in the very center at all. So I'll still be able to use those pieces there to give myself the flattened, curved surface sort of thing. And yeah, so I think, is that everything cool? I redid the power because with me moving that and that, it is now officially 3 decks or 2.5. And I lowered the power down because the power was probably half a deck higher, and I realized it messed with the whole layout, so I redid that. Pop that in. I'm gonna have to stick an airlock in, and I realized when looking at the ship, I have no clue where the fucking airlocks are, where the docking points are. There should be something up front, but there was nothing showing on the plan. Some might think, oh, it'll be here, but of course the ship's scaled down from its full size, so it can't be here. And the same with the engine section. I mean, I don't know how many parts this has taken, and unfortunately not having the parts counter. 9.5 years after the game came out, we still don't technically have a parts counter, even though the game counts your parts, which is why you get the notification saying you've hit the parts limit. So we're going to start at the engine section, because there we go. As you can see, the lights are still working, even though I had to do the rewire again on the thing. It's funny how you're getting light splashed there. Interesting. But yeah, so the lights are still working. It's a shame that they're not they haven't fixed the lights properly, but yeah, hopefully they'll get to it. Right. So what we need to do, it's always the brutal bit, isn't it, when you realise that you're dismantling something, because it's like, no. I mean, the easy bit is that we'll take a piece, pop that there, to send it in. I'll have to do that on the underside. Which I can, there we go, like that. Then we need the short of them. I'm going to come back up the top. Like so. Get rid of that crossbar. I'll stick one downstairs. I'll have to remove a couple of the bits and pieces. And of course that because that's there, I've then got to work on bringing a piece across to touch the relative piece and fill in the little triangular bit there. So this shows you the gap that there is on the underside, where that there is actually hooked onto the back. We need something there. Now, technically speaking, if we did we should be able to do 4 pieces. I can't fill in this side yet, even though it's on the left hand side of the screen. It's the right hand side of the ship. But if I grab a wood floor and pop that there. No, because that sticks over, doesn't it? Ooh, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Do we still have that one there? Yeah, that one's still lined up. This will work. This will, well, I'm saying this will work. This might work. Hopefully it will. Hang on, if I do that, then are you going to stand up for me? Yep, I've got that in the wrong place. There it is. That one. There we go. And there. Then there. Yep, we're standing upright. Now if we... That's almost correct. So if I put that there, then put that there. It should hopefully be level enough. And then I can remove that just so I can see exactly where these pieces are. It is tipped down. Yeah, it is tipped down. But it's not that bad. Because one there, one from the other side, one in the middle, which would go there, and then doesn't leave us with much to have to worry about, does it? And if it was shunted across another half, in fact, if I just take that little one there and right, that kind of fits. Right, that's not too bad. There is a bit more decoration I need to put on the top of there, but I can do that after. And that ball piece there is just because of what's going to go and happen in here. So what I do need to do is remove those and that. Now I've got some the fun of trying to remember how I did this. So we've got the various pieces that are here. It's basically the horizontal, then we've got a piece that goes there and one that does each of the side pieces, but they are set backwards. So, if I can remember how I did it, first of all, right, I think it's 2 that's needed. I think I need to also remove these now. Right, so one of them. We lay it down. We do 2 because we need to go. Is it 2? that was it. Yeah. So, first of all, that's also a long one. I didn't want a long one, I wanted a short one. There we go. We pop that there. Then we go to the triangles. Like so. Then we grab that again. Do that. Then we grab a long one and do that and that. We grab one of the short black ones. And we drop it in there. So as you can see, we now have that in line with that. It's not a perfect fit though, is it? Did I remove something? That shows that one being on the plank. Or yeah, I think what I did was I reset them all according to their pieces. So I don't think that's actually the piece that should be there. Take that one out. Right. I think I can shortcut. I don't know, maybe I've learned about some of these shortcuts. Some shortcuts work, some don't. So, you know. Hello, Evan. How are you doing? Yes. Narrow. Very narrow spaces. I don't know why I do some of these daft things to myself, but I mean, the idea is that this side needs to look like this side, which once I've done the engine bit, I've then got to move the pieces there. But this is, I mean, it's more about shuffling pieces than anything. I mean, I am one of the base tours I was going to be doing. I'm going to be doing it as a video. I also just did this completely the wrong way round. I was meant to be doing this from that from the front piece there. This is what happens when you get yeah. Well, I mean, the fact that you end up laying down as many pieces, I mean, I commented on the circle. Hang on a second. Did it? Come on, where's your snappy point? Your snappy point's here somewhere. There it is. So, I mean, with the circle here, each one of those squares which go around the edge here, I mean, you build off the base of that triangle, you have to go all the way down to come all the way back just to then put the square in the right place. And that was, I mean, that wasn't many. It was only about 18 parts that you had to do to get it to do it. So it wasn't that bad. But yeah, some of the other bits are, I mean, putting in each of the lights, because you're trying to get them at the angle and you've got to get all the scaffolding. I think have I removed all the scaffolding off the, yes I have. I've removed all the scaffolding off the primary ring. So, I mean, each light, it was, oh yeah, there's 32 either side, so 64. So just to put each of these squares on, of which there's 64 of these squares, I had to do it 64, 18 times 64 just for that one square to go around 64 times. And it's a similar thing with trying to get these angles when you're trying to get like the flat pieces and to convert them and then twist them. And I mean, if you've done it yourself, it's there are days that you just start banging your head against a fucking wall and it's like, no! Oh, but yeah, it's right, I do need to remove that and that because I put these in the wrong place. But yeah, it's I mean, for basic ease, the engines, the grid bit here, I mean, that is basically semi-free placed parts. Come on, you can do it. There you go. Right, so now we've got the vertical in place. So I've only got to do this another, 6 times for the other 6 sides. I mean, how joyous, you know. I mean, you can see from this view, the inside doesn't actually have a structure on it. So it does become a bit of an issue, which is why actually that one there becomes a long piece, because there's nothing to fix it. So technically I'm only going to do it 5 more times, not 6, but it's the equivalent of having 6 lots of stuff. Get rid of that. Then we can just grab that one. Yeah, the clipping is well, it's a complete pain usually. Come on, you can get in there. We need this to actually clip in the right place, because that's the other problem. That's also not gone in the right line as well. I didn't quite get that in the right place. But I'll stick it on the outside, and then now right, because I realized that the it had actually gone to the straight piece, and that's no good. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, I think you've nailed it there. If it was easy, we wouldn't see a challenge in it. I mean, admittedly, then you've got people like Rastalite, who I visited another one of his bases a couple of weeks back. Get rid of that as well. And I mean, it's absolutely insane the level of detail that he puts in. You know, it's the literal micromanagement of the parts. I mean, I thought I did really well with the Star Destroyer. I'm like, hey, look, we've traveled like 50 U, and this is only this far out, and this is, you know, and it's like, yeah, and I've got this here, and it's like two pixels difference, and you're like, 2 pixels. How the did you do that? You know. But that's it. I do think if it was too easy, I think we wouldn't enjoy it quite as much. Having said that, it is infuriating when certain glitches get blocked. Yeah, you can get the mods and stuff, but I mean, I think the problem with mods is that, because I went to do a base because someone said, oh yeah, come and visit my base, that it'd be great to have you come and see the base, and I turned up and like a third of it was missing. And it was literally down to the fact that they'd used, like, they were on PC and they'd used something custom. The resizing, I've used the double base glitch on the Star Destroyer because I needed something for the engine, so I used lav lights, inverted lav lights for the engines, and holy crap, I couldn't have done it without the double base glitch. Hello there, JJ, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome back to Insanity. I almost have this, almost have it in place. Try to clean up a little bit as I go. That's the other thing, of course. It's when you're like, shit, did I need to keep that bit of scaffolding? Or was it safe to delete? Because, yeah, I have banged my head metaphorically on a wall a couple of times. Because it's been a case of, oh, yeah, I actually needed to keep that, didn't I? You know. I mean, whilst I was trying to work out something to do with the engines, I spent 20 minutes to do something, and then realized that because I already had something in place, and I'm going to get to that in a moment actually, and that it's basically the small movement of this piece here versus something that's straight, because I didn't want straight. I wanted it to pinch in a bit. Middle bits will be removed. And I'm like, you know, I could have done something in a minute that I was faffing around with for like 20 minutes. Caching stuff, yeah, I mean, there's two lots of caching related. There's the cache pin glitch, which is a pain. I think it broke, then it kind of works again, but I'm not very good at that. And then there's the basic caching where if you've got a selected part and you save it, and then you do that, helps if I actually do it the right way. But let's say we're going to stick a piece there. Do that. And you end up sticking, you know, that's because you'd cached that into the memory as well, which is why that triangle is now there. It's also amazingly picked up the green colour of the original part that was going to get placed. But yeah, it's one of those. I mean, the cache pin glitch is something that's been getting used on freighters. Quite a bit. That does not want to go that way around, does it? Let's go that way around. Right. And then we just need that one. Come on. I need you to highlight. So, yeah, I mean, because, ooh, come on, you can do it, but it can do it if only it would, it's not done it because it's gone and stuck it somewhere else. Right, we've got mystery part hiding again. Oh, you gotta love it when you get fucking mystery parts all over the place. Come on. Yeah, well, I mean, I have actually. I mean, I'll drop out of build mode a moment. If I turn round, I actually have over here a selection of pieces which are all color textured to the right way to make and randomly large half short walls, which fuck it, why not? But yeah, so I've got the correct texturing for those bits, and then I've got these pieces just in case I was going to need them, because I was going to do a grill using a staircase, and then realised the 45-degree placement on top of whatever angle you needed to leave it, and I'm like, so I thought, no, I'll go a slightly different route, and right, see if I can get this piece in, because this is the last piece. No, not there. There we go. Ha ha! Right. Right, so I don't know why I've got broken. I think it's easier than it used to be, because and I think one of the easiest ways to demonstrate is if you stick in a triangle, because a lot of people used to use triangles to put stuff down. But these days, you see, you can overlap a part dead easy. I've made them two colours. It's not that wobble you get there isn't as noticeable. But you never used to be able to overlap parts. So you literally had to glitch the pieces in, which if you had a landing pad was a pain. And this base, which is not what it used to be a giant pyramid. It had 4 landing pads, like what's down there. Yeah. Yeah, the buttons. Yeah, I mean, you've nailed it there. It's which button do you press, and trying to remember. And of course, that's the other thing. I mean, I'm on PlayStation, but there's a lot of people on Xbox, a lot of people on PC, and then you've got people on PC who are also using game controllers. And then you're like, oh, well, if you press this button, well, it's like, well, yeah, 2 buttons at the same time, like we're saying about caching, because, for example, I mean, if I copy the triangle and I want to cache it, for me, that's square and triangle, like that, and obviously it's then triangle and R2 to be able to drop it into place where you want it. Now on Xbox, that is that AB? I think it's AB. I can't remember. There is one advantage of PC, and that's key binding. So one key press of an unused standard key that's not used for normal gameplay, you can bind it to do the 2 key presses that you need timed perfectly, so you never miss a heartbeat. So you will always be able to do that glitch. You know, square and triangle was for me for caching, and triangle and R2 for the placement. So I mean, copy the part. You got the part. You can see it's green. Then it's triangle, square, and you can tell you get it right because you get the square as opposed to the wire. Then you recopy a piece, place that over, and then it's triangle R2. I'm really pleased my fucking fingers are working today, because I have a chronic issue with my fingers, which I should point out. So sometimes I can be bashing buttons for about 5 minutes and thinking, yeah, fingers have decided they're going to fucking jack in, not let me do anything. Right, I do need to get rid of that floor. So we are now partway to what we need. I also now have to try to remember how many of these that I need. Because the other thing is, with these, I'm free placing them, but I have to free place them from the top down. Because it's one of those interesting issues. As long as the pieces fit inside, it's all. So then we've got two that take us down to where we need to go for the... It's a case of getting the pieces in the place that you need them. Is that a full-sized piece? It is a full-sized piece. Why is that a full-sized piece? That's weird. Right. It's going to cause me trouble. I know it is. I also need to try to work out exactly where it is. So it's... Did I not? Oh, I'll put the first one in too high. Oh, that's not good. Right, so the first one is in line with the top of... Because if you look... Yeah, you can do that as well. If you look, you can see where the center cursor is below the piece I'm trying to insert. That's where your problem kicks in. Because first of all, it has to be on solid ground. And actually from here, I can make out where the other piece is. I'm trying to eyeball it off the other side. Then we've got three. It's not going to be perfect. I also think it's off at an angle. It is off at an angle. I need to curve them. I just realized I do need to curve them slightly. Right, because the other thing is, how do you get them into where you need them? One. Oh, there we go. This is that one. Right. So that should be... There. Then we can grab one of them. There we go. There, come on. It's going to make me place it and then copy it, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to... So, because unfortunately, there's something about when you're doing the... There you go. When you're doing the... spinning, the rotation of it. Go across. Like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect. There's going to be very few people even bother looking at the actual engine. It's just there as people fly past, really. Then we've got three down here. So there's that one. Then we can go back to the small one. And we stick. I need to come in a bit closer so I can see the fun in games is when I go and put the thing in the bottom to you can see now how this is going to be an issue, how that doesn't want to actually fit in. Is there a piece in the bottom? There's that piece there. Yeah, somehow I did manage to squeeze a piece in the bottom, but... Aha! That's because... Hang on a minute. I should have lowered myself down, because I've just realised that one is in the wrong place. Because it should have been there, then there. Yeah, you've got to. They aren't quite perfectly positioned. That's now the right number. Now, you're going to say, how the fuck do you get in there to do this? This is the fun bit. This is the fun bit. I'll see if I can squeeze in to show you. So we have that there, which is on the back of the middle one, which goes there. Then we put 1, 2, and I think it's a third. Come on, can we get it? 3. Is it 3 or is it 2? I'm stuck. Let's have a look. You come all the way back to there. You come all the way back to there. Yeah, so then we have to remove that one and that one. Then we have to copy that. We're going to go over to there. We have to climb into the hole. Fucking awesomeness, you know. That's approximately the halfway mark. Then we're going to click the wire, bring it across, stick it in. Now we're trapped inside and everyone's looking at a big glowing ball. And I come out. Right, I'm going to remove this one because I don't need this one anymore. Yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. And there we go. So it's not perfect. I am thinking of adding some red into this, which will also help brighten up the stuff. I was going to say, if anyone has a base they would like me to visit on a live stream, then by all means you can drop the information into the Discord, and yeah, I will visit. If it's a base you don't want people to know where it is, then I can do a video of it where I can make sure that there's no information leaks, because there are a few builders I know who they keep certain sites private. So and I'm working on one video now of a base tour, but if it is something people would like others to go and look at, then I can obviously turn up and sort out. And I've just realized I've actually not put that quite in the right place. Yeah, there are some extremely mean people. Right, I need to come around, swizzle around. I really did forget just how tight a space this was to work in. Can I go that way round? Yeah, I can go that way round. Right, okay. So, click. I just realized that the... I'm going to camera mode. Yeah, there we go. It's not a perfect alignment. I'm going to have to... It's probably just the position of the boards, but it's close enough. But yeah, there are some people who are complete idiots who they ruin it for everyone, and I do dislike how some people will claim somebody's, you know, I built this, and some you know, or, I mean, there was an issue to do with Millennium Falcon where somebody did a really, really good one. It was one of the first ones. I remember touring it about... I wasn't the first, and it was UASF, and he did a really good Falcon. He's had to modify it several times because of the way some of the updates broke stuff. And then someone came along about 3 years later, claiming the design had been stolen. And I'm thinking, well, first of all, it's the Falcon. It's a fixed design. It's all down to who can do the best with their abilities. And then you look at when something was done. You know, if you did something 6 months ago, you can't claim that somebody stole it when they laid it down, what, 4.5, 5 years ago? Or was it 6 years ago he started? I can't remember now. But yeah, it's one thing when you've got people visiting and doing streams and putting out videos, at least there is a date then of when things have been done, which is always useful. But yes, I've got a lovely ER Burroughs. Oh, yeah, that's always an issue. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Did they change? I think they changed something, because I know they changed something about usernames. And then, obviously, like a lot of people, they did all the terms and conditions stuff. So you probably have to do an account recovery to get back in, which, depending on which web browser you use, will either be a very easy thing to do, or it'll be a complete pain in the arse, not mentioning Microsoft Edge at all. I gave up using Microsoft Edge as soon as I had the problem of... I went to log into an email account. All was well. Although it took me about two attempts to do it because it didn't like the password, even though the password was real. And I went back in 2 days later, and Microsoft Edge had wiped out everything. And I found out that they had default settings. So I went in, changed the default settings so it should still let me log back in. The very next day I went back in and it logged me out again. And I think about 8 or 9 days I put up with this, and I'm like, no. I have different web browsers for different accounts because I can't be asked. And yeah, I just lock them to that, and it's like, I'm not going to use something else if it's not going to fucking work. Right. Then we've got this holy hell of a jumble at the front, where we are working on the fact that we need to lower this whole front section down because this is all in the wrong place now, which I will remove. Because, like I mentioned at the beginning, how the piece... I see if it works. Yeah, well, I hope it does. The section on this ship, like say, I thought it was actually the bottom of the piece was level with the middle of the circle. It's not. So I've had to adjust a few things. So let's see if this lets me... The fingers are still working. This is good news. It can't last. I know it can't last. The fingers will die at some point. It only needs to last another 35 minutes. It'll be fine. Right. So we go 1, 2, 3, because I need to bring it in here somewhere. Is 3? Yeah, 3's fine. So I need to take the bottom one back off and go up to there. Then go up to there, and is that in the right place? No, that was not. That latched onto something else. Why are you not latching onto the piece I need you to latch onto? Oh, snap points are a pain in the biatch. There we go. Right. Remove that. Bring that in to there. Okie doke. Then this is always the fun bit where you have to, and then up to there. Now, how far down are we moving it? Pop you there to there. That takes you too far down, doesn't it? So it kind of needs to lift a bit. Okie doke. There to there. Let's try that one and see what happens. So let's remove you. Nope. Oh, fingers are starting to fail. Yeah, fingers are starting to fail. Oh, there we go. And we go to that snap point and like so. Copy that and you should fit in there. Right, this is going to be fun because obviously I've got that there that's going to overlap, so this is going to have to dip down at that point. Just out of interest, I know this is going to look stupid. It's not even going to. Oh, that really does not like that. Okay, so yeah, but basically we need to. There you go. So better what we're going to do is we're going to have that kind of a shape, but we're going to make it with the other pieces. So we'll need to bring one piece down and bring that piece down deeper. Yeah. So this will be fun. Pop you there. Pop you there. So many garage doors around the place, you know, and not a car in sight. Right, so you're there. I need you to go right down here. So if no, hang on. You got in good. I have to say, you'd have thought these days with all of the modern tech, logging in would have been so much easier than it is. It's such a pain in the backside. I mean, I know they all try to do this. Do you want to use two-factor authentication? And you're like, no. You know, it's, having said that, I do remember seeing somebody, it was because of like facial recognition, and they got arrested for something. It's something minor, something stupid. And yeah, they basically ended up having to, the copper like got the thing, and they didn't want to show the face to start with, and the copper literally just held the phone to the face, unlocked the phone, and was able to go through the phone to see what they'd done. And it's like, dude, do not use facial recognition on your phone, especially if you're doing anything which someone might deem illegal or offensive, because you're fucked. Basically, it's ridiculous. Right, I am going to curl that off that piece so I can remove. I'm going to have to remove a couple of these garage doors because it's getting really busy. Right. Because I can take a couple of flat pieces off these or just lift them a little piece. What I'm going to do is take a piece from this one and come forward. And then we'll work on what kind of an angle. Doesn't need to be a steep angle, does it? No. Right. I'm going to remove this as well because we've got the lower marker down there, which also basically follows this outline. I used the boards just to mark up what it was I needed to do. Right, pop you there. Another garage door. And of course, I am lucky enough to have 3 accounts that still have the old parts, which I do think that they need to give everyone access to the old parts, because they're so much better for certain things. I mean, the new parts are good, but there's also things that you can't do with the new parts, which kind of sucks. Right, we'll take this on the same angle. Nope, that did not work. Because this way, I totally hit the wrong button again. Do. There we go. And I'll end up removing this piece, but I'll put it there for now. So you see, that's close enough actually. That is close enough. I don't need to pull the piece down from there. I can leave it at that. That's good. Let's go underneath. I mean, the thing is, once I've actually built the thing, I will effectively go back and do some tweaks. Anyone who can get to Galaxy 255 is more than welcome to come and visit. The kettle is always on for fresh drinks. So yeah, there we go. We now have, I mean, that does kind of stick up there, so I should, that's just that piece there, that piece there, that piece goes there, and that piece goes to there. That's going to get a slight bump anyway, because this piece here is going to be the awkward piece, because it's a grill. Narrower at the front, bigger at the back. I need to block off the back. Probably sweep it round. I'll have another look at the actual full plan. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that the ship isn't as well documented. Yeah, coffees are important. So we're going to be doing a similar bit here, where we need to come down, but we also need to sort out this piece here. Because the bridge, I mean, it's semi-scaled, but the bridge is technically meant to be here, so that window set needs to move backwards. And then I need to do, although I could bring it, if I put one more there, actually that kind of fits. It is a bit too flat though. It is meant to curve down. So if I steepen this, because this needs to be a bit steeper, hello there, Teflon, how are you doing? if you can show, I have a section at the bottom. There's a No Man's Sky section and a base show-off section. And you'll be able to, anything you want to show off, you can drop there. And I mean, I will also advertise all the various bits. What are you up to, Teflon? Are you having a Merry Christmas still? I am thinking of putting down a thing about how people make use of the addresses, because that's the other thing. Some people use like hexadecimal addressing, some people use just base 10 addressing, and other people use the various names, which can kind of be confusing. I've always used the same names, but I noticed that some people who started maybe only a couple of years ago are using slightly different names for the icons, which is why sometimes the numbering is better. As long as you remember that the first one is 0, not 1. That's where there's a common mistake with the numbering system. Right, I need to, let's grab you. We're going to lower this slightly. So we're going to bring you all the way down to there. And then we're going to come in here. I need you to line up correctly. There you go. That didn't work. That didn't work. There we go. And then we're going to flickety-floo back up here. No, that did not. Come on. Latch, damn it, there's a piece in there. I do feel sometimes the game literally thinks to itself, I think you've got too many pieces now. And then it gives up on you. It's like, no, you're not allowed to have any more snap points. You've got too many. Right, so if we do one quick tilt for that and then level out the rest, I think that will probably be stick you over there. And then come on, you can do it. You can snap. Oh no, snap to the correct piece. Come on. I don't know if this is a predominantly console issue or whether everyone has this issue with the snap points really being, it's like you get above a certain part count and for whatever reason it decides that's it. It doesn't want to know anymore, you know. Right, so from there we're going to come out a little bit. This has to go steeper. Get rid of that. Remove that so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Right. Give me one of them. So we're going to go steep by having there you go. I'm going to have to remove those wires because they're getting in the way. Oh, and of course I've just remembered they still haven't fixed this issue of why the shorter walls will not stack on top of each other for whatever reason. I mean, to me, it just seems dumb. You can put one on top of another, but you can't put it below without using, say, the long walls to do it. I mean, it just seems a bit dumb. Right, let's remove you out the way. You out the way, because we also have to do this the other way round. So I'm going to have to... So you're on there, and you go there. And I need to do the same bit here because it doesn't want to allow... Hang on a minute, it has to be 2. And I'm going to have to remove that piece out, aren't I? No. Yeah. Fucking fingers. Come on. Right, and we'll remove them. Just for now, I'm just going to drop these in to give me the basics of the pattern. There we go. That's a bit better. And now I've done that, the one thing I am going to do, because I've just gone and removed the piece that goes across the thing there, is to do exactly what I was talking about earlier, where you grab, cache it, grab the long piece, stick that in and drop it in. So at least that's now got the right nose. It probably will end up with a bit of a thing on it. Now we need to grab you and drag you. At least we're going to end up with some correct angles now. Come on. And bring you back to there. And then we're going to make sure we've got the correct long wall. You left your bike in the anomaly. Oh dear. I have to say the one thing I'm trying to get myself sorted out with is putting a gate on my Corvette, which I haven't got around to doing yet, because the idea of being able to like carry your own means to travel everywhere, I just like that idea. Right, so that basically would sit there, so I just need to grab a piece that's going to go in. Right, so I can remove that and I can remove that. The underneath is just going to be a simple slide underneath. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, I mean, it's like the exocraft. There's somebody who, Ronan, he's ending up in space inside his Nautiloid, which is fun. So, yeah, the orbital uplink, yes. Voyager's Haven project. No, there is a lot of stuff that's going on, which, I mean, it's impossible to keep up with every single group that's doing stuff. I mean, there's even 2 PvP groups which, although they're having a quiet phase at the minute, But their plans, they've got events and stuff. Um, One of the big problems is with the PvP groups, they like to go to a sector of space where there is nobody, and it's like they then set up this sector where people can go, and if you go, you turn up for the events, and people are fighting each other, and then you get people who don't want to do that, who turn up, and then wonder why everyone's shooting at each other, and they don't like it. And it's a case of, well, if you don't like it, don't come into this area. There's like a lot of other space, but yeah, sounds fun. I know. Oh, because I mean, one thing, the basic thing that's good for people who are playing the game is the No Man's Sky, basic No Man's Sky app, which basically has all of the pieces that you need. So you know what the part is, what parts are available, what it costs to do it. Having it on a separate screen is useful because it enabled me to be able to build my stasis um, device farm, which yeah, that's remarkably funny. Is the stasis device farm? Yeah, the No Man's Sky app is really um, cool. Right, I need to grab you, and then I need to grab that. Right, I need to work out the space thing next. Yeah, I mean, I started off with it just being brown. It didn't actually have the... Oh, that did not line up. Hello. Why did you not line up? Because you went in the wrong place. Okay, there you go. That's better. Although I have just noticed that does not line up. Huh. That's annoying. Why does the underside of the ship not line up with the top side of the ship? That doesn't make sense. Something doesn't line up. Let me try a standard wall. So if I do that, come on, that, and that, and you definitely line up to that. And you are lined up across the bottom. Is that not quite in the right place? I think my centerpiece is not quite in the right place. That's annoying, isn't it? Yeah, I need to work that one out. Right, let's clear that off a moment. Move that out of the way. So put that there. So those are lined up. Those are lined up. It's twisted. That's what the problem was. The wire was twisted. Just a fraction, but enough that it was going to cause a problem. Right. So I need to remove that, and I need to remove that. It also means I need to remove those. The joys. Right, I'm going to remove that. Right, we'll just lock. Make sure we keep everything in the right place. We've got a perfect straight. Then we've got one. Because it's down the bottom, so that one down to there, so that to there. And then underneath, because that goes there, and then we pop that there, and then this has to go one, two. So that's two above. Yeah, so now that should actually go from there, which I'm going to drop you there, and then pop that there. Right, and we need to go down for that one, but we will take that out. Now I'm going to take the short wall. I should actually have done this slightly differently, but there we go. Like so. Let's see if this fixes the problem or whether I'm still up doo-doo with the doo-doo. And our survey said, you've just put it in the wrong place. There we go. And now we're lined up. Oh, that was going to bug the crap out of me, that you know. But yes, one wire, a fraction twist. So yeah, I mean, that's actually going to get tilted. That's going to be lifted. That's going to be shunted back. Probably lifted from this one and then sweep them up to where they need to be. And of course I'll replace the little squares with the proper colour and everything. I just realised it's also a while since I've dropped in a save, which is never good. Yeah, I'll, like I say, I will be happy to have a look at things once I have done a quick double check of everything. I will be able to, I mean, I am going to, I'll just have a think. Hey, if you're messaging Jota, don't worry. Um, I am going to hold a meetup tour as well, because anyone who likes um, talking about their builds, then it's like a part-based tour, part interview in a way. And I've done a few like that as well. And it gives people a chance to talk about what they're doing. I mean, after all, someone turning up and saying, okay, I can see what you were doing, but it's a case of, but when the builder then actually says, well, this is what I was going for, this is what I was doing. And then, of course, I'm always there trying to work out what people have used, what people have done and built with. And yeah, it's. I need to remove those pieces of wood. And I will balance out that, because that's going to annoy me as well, not having that quite in the right place. I can see what's happened though. Those lower planks aren't quite in the right place. That's where the problem is. I've got the globes in the right place, but the other bit isn't. And then one last thing we will do for the day is what I was talking about with the placement of these back pieces, because it was bugging me when I realized that there was a far easier way to do it, and I mean a lot easier to do it, you know. Come on, you can find the snap point. You can do it. There you go. So you can see how it's got the placement bit, because I've got the bit lined up on there, because that isn't quite right. So we literally, as you can see, move it across, because we have to get that lined up on what we need. That's when I try to remember how I got that lined up in the first place. Because you've got two motions that you're doing here. So one is to line up the distance, which is this piece, which, as you can see, is done by length to there. And then we've got this bit, which allows us to do the other piece. And time is running out for today, which is quite annoying. But that's what happens. But basically, it's another one where you're just banging down the triangles, and you can see how it lines up with the piece. And then, because I mean, it looks out of place because that there is straight up front, whereas this one here lines up the way that you want it. So I need that one. Like so. And then, as you can see, we now have to move that far back. Is it one or is it two? I think it's two, if I remember rightly from my original calculations, but we'll find out in a minute if that was right or wrong. And if it is two, yeah, it is just the one. There we go. And that way we can literally just remove them. We'll just drop that one there, that one there, and then we can like so. And then we've got them poking in. But we'll make finer adjustments anyway, because that is slightly off. But we'll make the slider adjustment and get it sorted. That's the problem. You've got to try and remember to use the right kind of walls for everything, because if you use a different thickness of wall on one side to the other, it can make a difference. A bit like the twisted wire that we had up front. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. I'll be back on Tuesday. Probably delving into a bit more Diablo 4 now that Lilith is dead, and be back with some No Man's Sky on Thursday. So thanks everyone for being here, and I will be checking in on Discord to check any messages and make arrangements with people for anything that we need to do. So until then, I will catch everybody later. Have fun, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.